As a professional photographer, presentation is everything. Build your own website today with Squarespace. From my concepts to my creations and straight to my website. I'm Karl Taylor, and this is my Squarespace. Hi guys, this is Karl Taylor, and I'm back with another video sketch walkthrough on one of my lighting setups for you. So first of all, let's explain a little bit about this campaign. We've got this picture of these two angry guys, and we also shot some other people, similar expressions. And this campaign was all about these guys were frustrated, disappointed with a purchase that they'd made because they'd gone on to find this product or service somewhere else for cheaper, and that made them very frustrated. So that was basically the concept behind the shoot. Obviously, the success of the shoot relied heavily on the expression of the actors or the models, the stylists, the wardrobe, hair, makeup, all those sort of things. So I can only really talk through the photography element with you, which is what I'm going to do in more detail now. Now, the two shots here are actually exactly the same lighting setup. There's no difference at all in the two lighting setups there. They are absolutely identical. So I'm just going to move on to the other image here of the one guy on his own to walk you through the lighting setup on this one. So first of all, let's zoom in and take a look at the eyes and look at the catch light in the eyes. Now you can immediately see that circular highlight in the eye at the top of the eye there, and you can make out some sort of reflection, just very, very limited there at the bottom of the eye. Sorry, this isn't the highest resolution I've got here, just simply to make it easier to move around while I'm screen recording. So you can see that in the eyes, and we'll come back to that in a second. But if we take a look at the lighting on the front, so you can see this lighting on the front of the head here, down the nose, the face area, but also falling in this zone onto the jumper here. But notice how the light gradually gets, it's lighter here, and then it gets a little bit darker and darker as it falls off and goes down, and then it's quite dark under the belly there and on the trousers. So that's all the light from the front, but you'll also notice some light all the way around the edge of the body here, around the edge here, down the sides here, creating this sort of rim light around the edge of the shoulders and around the side of the body. But you'll notice it more strongly on the hands, on the edge of the knuckles there, and on the side of the face here, where it's quite intense. You can see it there, and you can see it here. So those that lighting on the edge of the body and the side of the face is coming from lights at the back here from this direction, which I'm going to talk you through on a separate diagram in a minute. The light in here at the front is all coming from a light overhead at the top here from a beauty dish that is positioned above my camera and angled down towards the model's forehead. But I'll draw that out a little bit more accurately on a side view for you. And then you'll see another light glowing around the background here. You can see it emanating out over his shoulders and head and around the body in this area and this area here, which is another light falling on the background. So let me just go into another image for you so we can describe that in a little bit more detail. So here's our subject side-on view, and I'm just going to draw in where that beauty dish would have been. So relative to this sort of scale, I had a 70 centimeter beauty dish in about this position here, which is a standard sort of beauty dish position. This was coming out on a giraffe boom over here out of my way. And then my camera was at eye level with my subject here, looking straight at him here. The beauty dish, the light's emanating this way directly onto the subject, which is why the light is falling off and getting darker down in this area here. However, we're kicking some light back up into the body by using a trireflector low down here. And a trireflector is a reflector that is made up of 3 panels that you can angle individually and basically tilt the side panels, these ones, or tilt the middle panel. And what I do with the trireflector is I stand in the position of the subject, I look down at the trireflector, and then I establish if I can see a reflection of the beauty dish in the trireflector. If I can, then I know it's going to reflect the maximum light. And the trireflector is on a lighting stand, and you basically just angle the trireflector to suit the angle to bounce the light accordingly. And then you can independently move these panels up and down as well if you want to get more light up on the sides. So the trireflector would have been down at that position. But then at the back here, around about here, at a 45-degree angle towards my subject, are 2 30 by 120 softboxes directing that rim lighting that I showed you, pointing at my subject like so. One on this side and one over on the other side as well, directing light back towards them there. Further to that, we've got a grey paper roll background coming down here, and I have a standard broncolor studio light on the floor here with a standard reflector, and I'm shining that into my background. I sometimes diffuse that reflector with a bit of tracing material to soften the glow that is hitting the wall or hitting the paper background here, and this is usually on a low stand hidden behind my subject from my camera's perspective. That creates the glow that you see emanating out behind his shoulders and bodies. So it is a 4-light setup. Your main light number 1 being here, and then lights number 2 being the softbox lights 2 and 3 either side at the back, reverse. These are 30 by 120 size softbox. So they're sort of tall, thin softboxes, which are perfect for edge lighting and framing the subject. And then light number 4 is a standard light on the background, which was giving the soft glow emanating out behind. And then very importantly, a reflector below. It didn't have to be a trireflector, could have been just a normal reflector, but in this case it was a trireflector there. And then I'm shooting here. This is my position, there's my nose, looking through the camera at my subject. So let's just go back to the actual image, and then you can see that again now in context. So you can see here on the dual image that it's exactly the same lighting setup as I described. Notice, as I said, let's start with the background light with the glow emanating out behind my subject here and around the body. The main beauty dish hitting and exposing this portion of the body here, down across the body and then falling off down here. The same on this one. The same running down here and running down the main body, and also hitting the fronts of the hands on this occasion. And then you have the edge lighting, which is running down the sides of the body here. You see it on the side of that corduroy jacket. Now you may notice it's a little bit more intense on this one here, and that could be just down to the reflectance of the material and the way the material sucks up the light. So the corduroy jacket was absorbing probably more light, it's darker than the pink jumper that he's wearing here. And then that same light from the softboxes is also the light catching on the side of the face. So that's the setup. The trireflector was placed down below at thigh level. and bouncing the light back up and angling it just the right amount to ensure that the fill of light here under the arms and under the chin over here, again on the hands on this side and under the arms, to ensure that there is enough light going into those areas. Then the final image had a little bit of saturation and coloration work done on them, and I also shot some steam coming out of a kettle on another shot, another 2 shots, that was then comped into this shot to create the steam coming out the ears. So hopefully that gave you an idea on the construction on my lighting setups. Again, I'm not relying on any lighting ratios, any particular lighting ratios. I'm just examining the light live on screen as I shoot it tethered, looking at the result, deciding is that glow on the background the right amount? Is the light on the front of the body the right amount relative to the light on the back and the sides and the edges of the body? And I'm developing my lighting as I'm shooting by monitoring it with my eye, monitoring it visually, and making those important decisions about what looks good for the final result. And hopefully you'll agree that the pictures worked out really well. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for listening. I'm Karl Taylor. For more great photography tips and lighting guides, check out some of my pro-level training on my website. Thanks very much. My passion is photography. Whether shooting for clients or teaching students, the excitement of great photography never gets old. Check out my website for free training, a complete range of courses, and even photography workshops. Thank you for watching.